scaled down version of the licensed Ford M Sport Puma Rally 1. It's looking pretty cool, guys. They've got the Red Bull graphics, brushless powered 4-wheel drive. Let's take it out of the box so you can take a quick look and then head outside to drive it. So here's everything out of the box. Of course, the assembled car with the electronics installed. You get one of the CEN radio systems that we're all familiar with, and a bunch of paperwork. You're gonna need some AA batteries for the radio, and a 2 or 3S LiPo battery for the car, and of course the charger. Let's start off by checking out that licensed Ford Puma body, and this thing looks pretty cool, guys. Really cool lines on this. A lot of the graphics are printed on the back side of the Lexan, and then all of these sponsor logos here, these are decals, and they're really well applied from the factory. Couple little extra accents like mirrors on the side, and then the molded spoiler. This looks absolutely cool. But they've got body clips like usual, like we usually see from CEN. Don't actually mind them here. I think they actually work out pretty well. Check out the back, looks pretty good. I mean, decals are really well laid out on this. So I think they nailed it on the styling. It does have blacked out windows. Those are decals, but man, this thing looks pretty cool. And that leads us to what's under the body. And if you've been into RC for a while, this platform might look familiar to you. Hopefully nobody has a vendetta against it. I'll let you guys talk about it in the comments section below. Nonetheless, from what I remember, it's a very good platform. I used to race the stock buggy version of this way back at the mini nationals, and I think I finished second place in the A main in the stock class, and it was just a lot of fun to drive this platform. There's been some changes to it, but we're gonna go over it as a CEN car because they have the licensing for this now. So we've got a molded composite tub chassis. There's actually a little change made here to accept the servo mount, so that's actually pretty cool, but plenty of space for the batteries over here on the side. Looks like there's a stop on the battery strap, so if you have different sized batteries, you could move this little stop forward. Got a little extra webbing down on the bottom underneath the battery just to help brace everything, countersunk screws on the bottom, and you're gonna see a mix of Phillips and hex hardware throughout this car. That's a little bit frustrating, just having to switch back and forth between different drivers like that. I just wish they went with hex hardware throughout. They've got a foam front bumper for protection, body mounts here in case you do want to go swap out bodies later on down the road. I doubt many will do that, but the option is there. So this is a 4-wheel drive platform, and they've got a front and rear gear differential, just a fixed spur gear in the center, nice aluminum drive shaft down the center. Now they do have gear differentials in this. It's just grease gear differentials. I took it apart for you guys, and all plastic gears throughout. And those gears should be fine if you're running this system on a 2S battery pack, although this, I'll go over it in a little bit. You could run up to 3S in this, but plastic gears in a 4-wheel drive brushless car, they worry me a little bit. At least they gave us ball bearings. The drive shafts on here are universal style, and these are actually composite as well, and composite out drives. So again, I think you're gonna run this more on a 2S battery pack. Moving on to the suspension. So pivot ball style in the front. I remember this working really well. Composite shock towers, front and rear, oil-filled shocks, and the damping feels a little dead right out of the box, but this is gonna be mostly run on-road. If you wind up jumping this thing, you might have to alter the suspension a little bit. Add some more preload clips in here to get a little bit more ride height, but you get plenty of steering with this setup. Just a twin bell crank steering over to the servo, which has a servo saver built into it. There's some adjustability to this with the pivot ball suspension, the basic tie rods that they have for the steering and the rear camber. There's a little adjustability for the shocks. Then on all 4 corners, you've got these cool BBS style wheels with a street tread tire on it. Actually feels like they've got some foam in there as well. So this should work really well on asphalt. Not sure how it's going to work in dirt. Might be a lot of 4-wheel drive power sliding, but let's get into the electronics now. So they've got a metal gear servo, which is pretty cool. And then hobby wing system to power this 3600 kV brushless motor, sensorless of course, and then the hobby wing speed controller here, which is capable of handling 2 to 3S battery packs. So yeah, you probably get some serious straight line speed on asphalt with this thing. I'd just be a little worried about running the driveline on 3S long term. It's definitely gonna wear on this system. All right guys, let's throw a charge pack in here and head out to drive it. I think we should kick things off with a 2S speed run. I have about 15% power left in the GNSS. Hopefully that works. Get this thing fired up. We'll see how fast it goes. Tractor trailer's in my usual parking spot, so I gotta start off back here. And it looks like we need to do a little steering trim right out of the box. That's the one. Too many digital buttons to remember. All right, we're going straight. We'll hit it. Hear it screaming. It's a small car. Oh, spun out over there. Looks like we got some signal range issues. That should be enough. Let's see, what do we get, guys? 22 miles an hour on a 2S pack. While we're here, might as well rip it around the parking lot. Whoa, rear is pretty loose on this. Gonna need some throttle control. Actually, the tires need to break in a little bit too, just to be fair. Look at this thing, guys. Looks more like a Gymkhana car with all that rear end slide. That thing it just sounds fast. I mean, 22 is reasonable, but on the low end, it's got a lot of low end power. High end full turn, so we got some push there. And then on the low end, loose in the rear. A little bit of a handful. But actually, just having fun blasting around the parking lot with this thing. Yeah, I think the tires are actually starting to settle in. And to be honest, I mean, it's like 30 degrees out today, guys, so the cold temperatures aren't helping out too much. But I think you guys get a good feel of how this thing works. Let's just see the off-power steering. That's pretty good. Other direction. This gets a little loose if you come on too hard. This thing looks cool, guys. Again, I remember this being a fun platform. It's now a CEN platform, so we got to think of it like that. I think it's pretty cool. I gotta see how these tires work in the dirt. And wow, okay. Way better than I expected. Look at this, nice flat lot. This would be pretty cool, like some baseball fields and stuff if you don't have a flat dirt surface like this. But I think it's working actually a little bit better here than on the asphalt, guys. Way more controlled slides. That's just cool. Little counter steer. All right, I'm having a lot of fun with this one. I think it's got the right amount of speed on 2S too to be fun. Again, keep that drive line together. Look at that, guys. Controlled power slides. Yeah. Rear end, I mean, it's still a little loose, but not as bad as it was on the asphalt. And look at that, through the rough stuff. Uh-oh. I hear a rock inside already. I think I have to cut it short for you guys. Well, I decided to let the gears eat because I got the jump with me and I have to see it jump. So there's a little bit of a finesse necessary to get this thing to jump right. You just can't hit full throttle. Watch this. You just flip it right over. Whoop. But if you go and finesse it off the jump, you get a little air with this rally car. See, little blip at the end. Nice. Had a really good time with this thing. Love the power slides. So guys, I was wrapping up the action and driving it back to me, and all of a sudden it started to pull to one side and it looks like the universal broke. The bone at the end just snapped right off. So yeah, I'm gonna say this drive system is definitely just 2S friendly. I wouldn't go 3S on there because you'll probably break that easily, but the car is a lot of fun. So that's the thing. It's a blast to drive, just power slides for days. I think it's got good power on 2S. This body looks sick, and I'm pretty sure that they have a bunch of option parts for it, and they'll have aluminum bones to go and replace that, so you get around that durability issue. But man, neat release from CEN. Kind of wish it was around the $200 price tag, but maybe that's because all the tariffs and stuff like that. $225. Fun RC car. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and I'll have links in the video description.